Over 1 million people globally have now reportedly died by the coronavirus pandemic, and the spread is nowhere near finished. Yet some version of life must go on, and Israelis with little to no details to go on are demanding to know when that will be.
Definitely blaming the government. I think that there's no planning, there's no organization, they have no idea what they're doing, they're very egocentric, they're only thinking about themselves. We were doing very well at the beginning, and then the pressure to open up was done impulsively. They opened everything all in one go. No one sensible would do that.
And mainly I feel depressed because I sense how the government are not taking any rational decision of this current thing. It's only a lot of political reasons that brought us to this point that we are not dealing with the pandemic. We don't have any strategy.
But Israeli leaders don't have much in the way of good news just yet. Health Minister Yuli Edelstein telling Israeli media that, quote, there is no scenario that in 10 days we lift the closures and say everything is over, everything is fine, end quote. Adding that, unlike the end of the first lockdown, this lockdown will need to be exited more gradually. In fact, if anything, the lockdowns may be extended to last for at least a whole month. Prime Minister Netanyahu warning that at least 1,500 Israelis could be seriously ill by the weekend, double the number of critically ill cases today.
ממש לפני כניסת יום כיפור, קיימתי שיחות אינטנסיביות עם ראשי מערכת הבריאות וגם עם השרים, שר הבריאות ושר הבט"פ, כדי להבטיח שאנחנו מנצלים את הימים הקרובים להתארגנות טובה להמשך. יש פה גם הפקת לקחים ויש פה גם דברים שהם מתבקשים. יש לי כאן רשימה, היא כמעט שלמה, אבל אני חושב שהדבר הראשון הוא קודם כל הכנה מיידית של מערכת הבריאות, על פי יעד שאני הגדרתי, אנחנו נדון בו מחר, אבל אני רוצה להיות ערוכים לטפל בכ-1,500 חולים קשים בקורונה החל מה-1 באוקטובר.
The Barzilai Medical Center in Ashkelon has even now opened its 4th coronavirus ward due to the increase in recent hospitalizations. And the ultra-Orthodox community especially is now bracing for a post-holiday surge in infections. The average age of newly diagnosed Haredim falling below 26 years old, most likely as religious students are getting infected in yeshivas and seminaries before going back home for the holidays and spreading the virus. Still, many Israelis are protesting the government's actions, both in smaller and more local demonstrations, as well as by breaking quarantine to head for Jerusalem as usual. Protesters continuing to march against alleged corruption, in addition to calling for more sensible direction with the pandemic.
I really fear that the whole people of my society and the people around me and the people that are living here will not be able to express themselves, will not be able to live normal life anymore, because the way it seems for me now, the current rule is going into the way of fascism and for anti-democracy, and I cannot have it happen.
Long car chain from all over Israel to say what we feel about the situation in Israel right now. To save Israel from becoming a dictatorship, to save the Israel democracy from the hands of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Protesters also rallied in front of several ministers' homes, including the private homes of Defense Minister Benny Gantz, Foreign Minister Gabi Ashkenazi, Health Minister Yuli Edelstein, and Justice Minister Avi Nissenkorn.